How and why do issues get put into a study committee?
Well, it's a variety of reasons, Donna. Often during the legislative session, there may be issues that come up, there may be policies that come up that are questionable that just require more of an in-depth study, maybe things that they didn't get to during the long session, maybe something they're just not sure if they want to pursue, they want more information on it. And then to be honest with you, sometimes a study committee is set up just to sort of pacify a particular legislator or group of legislators. So there's a variety of reasons. Now, usually what we see, just procedurally, is usually the General Assembly has a study bill at the end of the session that they will put together, and both the House and the Senate pass those, and it sets up the committees that they're going to look at during the interim. This year they did it a little bit different. They set this up through the Legislative Research Commission and set up these 20 committees. We get to the same place that we would have with a bill, but just a little bit different procedure, which is a little bit interesting. New leadership, new different way of organizing things. So just sort of a side note on that.
So just because these 20 particular committees have been set up, that does not mean that there's going to be legislative action on all of these?
Not necessarily. Now, a couple things. One, in the rules that are passed down to the committees, they can propose legislation for the short session if between now and May, and then they do have a formal report that is due prior to the 2015 legislative session beginning. So there will be reports that are coming out of this. Could very well be legislation, but not necessarily. And the other thing is they can propose legislation to the short session, but there's no guarantee that that legislation would pass. Sometimes in the past what we've seen is a piece of legislation coming out of a study committee that once it goes through the regular committee process and vetting and suggestions of the entire membership of the General Assembly, you see that change a lot. So it's a starting point. It also gives us a clue. Those of us that are in this policy business that are really watching these things, it gives us a clue of the priorities, what they may be looking at going forward.